Good afternoon, YouTube. I keep wanting to say good afternoon, Instagram, because that's the platform that I'm used to. Always trying new things on this platform, different platforms, different filters, different whatever. The filters are totally like a vanity thing, but you know, you're staring at yourself the whole time, so you want to feel good about yourself. So today I'm just continuing from where I left off. Last time I was on here, I was talking about, one second, let me just explain this. Last time I was on here, I was talking about the structure, the loose structure of gang stalking. And today, I am going to be talking about the true intention of gang stalking. And this will really give you, I want to kind of start from the beginning and have videos that are from the beginning to give some sort of like logical explanation as to what you're going through and why you're going through it. So the intention of gang stalking. The actual act of gang stalking is simply the first thing that's happening. It's only one component of what you're going through. The actual act of gang stalking is just one component. Do you guys see the scratch on my face? I woke up with this. I can't remember what day I woke up with it, but anyways, I just woke up with a scratch on my face. So it's crazy. I gotta constantly protect myself. I have to constantly, but I'm seeing it more today because the scab kind of fell off of it. But anyways, it'll be gone soon enough. Anyway, the true intention of gang stalking is total destabilization of your life. They're not just gang stalking you to scare you. There is an intent and a purpose behind it. So this is what I'm going to be talking about today. I've broken it down into 4 major factors. And I'm going to go through what these factors are, and then I'm going to kind of break them down. I'm not gonna start from the way that I've personally numbered it in the diagram that I've made. And by the way, so I will be posting all my diagrams, and I'm gonna continue posting my diagrams in the community center of the Instagram. Excuse me, in the description box of my channel, I'll have a link to the community section just in case you can't find it, and it'll be the first line in the description box so you can't not get it. I'm gonna also make this the cover image for the video so that you do not have, like, once it's the cover image for the video, it makes it difficult for you to, like, once you play the video, you're gonna lose it and you wanna read this. So I'm just gonna keep it as the cover image. So the four different components and the 4 things that they're attacking: your spiritual beliefs and your hope in yourself, your finances, your mental health, and your social relationships. Thank you. I just started going live. This is my 3rd one. So it's good that you caught me. I go different times, but I always post them anyway. So if you don't catch it, you can always see it online. And nice to meet you. You know what? It really gives me, I don't know what word to use, but sometimes I put the information out there and I just wonder, like, if it's helping anyone or if anyone's actually catching it or any of the above. I know when I was going through this stuff, it was so difficult for me in the active stages, especially the beginning stages, and I could have easily been caught and stuck in it to the point that I wouldn't be able to get out had I not had people coming on giving their help and advice as well. So it's a huge deal for me to give that advice, because of all the things that you could be talking about online, this I know is really helping people. And especially as I start to formalize the information like I'm doing now, I know that it's going to get to a point where it's going to be actionable for people and it's really going to be impactful. So now when I do lives, I kind of really put it together, and I put it in like a sequential order, and I'm gonna be posting it in the community section, a diagram, so you could go back and just have a very quick snapshot of what the video was talking about. But I expand a lot about it in the video so that you can actually get something out of it. So yeah, the purpose of this video today is to talk about the true intention of gang stalking. And it's really to totally destabilize a victim and totally destabilize someone 100%. Destroy their life completely. And you know, I've identified 4 areas, and under the 4 areas, I've put kind of different points, and you can whittle down, and those different points can go into like 1,000 points, but I just try to keep it general so that it can be applicable to different people, because different people are gang stalked for different reasons. So you can kind of reverse engineer the information to make sense in your situation. The 4 different pillars that I've identified is your spiritual life or your hope, your financial life, your mental health, and your social life. So I'm going to start first with your social life. Well, yeah, might as well start with your social life. That's number 4. The first thing that they want to do is infiltrate your social networks. I'm going to read the 1, 2, 3, 4 points that I put, and then I'm going to expand on them. They want to infiltrate your social networks to be able to effectively slander your character, to block any help from coming to you, to put you in total isolation, and then to block your social networks, to block anybody new from coming in, to stop you from making new relationships. So, first things first, on the onset of being gang stalked, before you're actually followed, gang stalked, and persecuted, they've already identified what your social networks are. They do that in a number of ways. They just want to get an email address, which a lot of people come on here and ask me for an email address. They want to get an email address or a social media account. YouTube blocks you and protects your privacy. But other social platforms, it's like once you give out an email, especially if it's a Gmail, they go ahead, they hack it, and then they get all your contact lists. Because Gmail collects a lot of significant information. The websites you go to, it gives a profile of who you are. So they get your email address, they see what your email address is going to link to other social networks that you're on and other things that you subscribe to. And then they go ahead and they hack those networks, and they find people that you talk to frequently, that you know in other countries, that you visited, that you're friends with, that your parents, your siblings, what you're up to, countries you've been to. All kinds of information is contained in your email address. And once they get that information and they start hacking you, then they know who to send towards you. They will send people to do business with people you do business with who are going to bring up your name. They're going to send people to be friends with who you've been friends with to bring up your name in a negative way. They're going to send people to date your exes. They get a lot of information from people like exes, siblings, and parents. And they slowly turn these people against you. They are very malicious. And when they get to a point where they feel confident that they have a handle on these relationships, even if they can't get the person to turn against you, they want to get the person to the point where the person feels above you, or they want to ridicule you, or they feel that they're better than you. This is what they want to establish, and they want to establish this in all the core parts of all your personal relationships. Once they've done that, they feel confident now that you're not going to receive the help that you need. They're going to start having people question you. They're going to find things about you that they can use as isolating factors. For me, it was my spirituality. For me, it was the fact that I'm an introvert and I'm not out there a lot. They use that to their advantage, so that I'm not going to be networking and out there with people. They're going to find multiple things to talk about you. They're going to talk about your business. They're going to talk about your work. They're going to talk about all kinds of things. And believe me, it's easier to get people to go against you than you think, because it's the nature of people to compare themselves to each other. You think it's hard to get a sister to be against another sister, or a parent, or what? It's not that difficult. It's not as difficult as you think. They just point out little behaviors. They interact with that person, and then they're interacting with you. And it doesn't matter how kind you are or how good of a person you are, they can find a way to really slander your character. Now, it didn't work so well with me because I'm a very kind person and I've been in the public eye and I'm very popular. So the more popular you are, the more difficult it is for them. And then the more popular you are, if you have a public platform where you're very known, it's not a fake platform, it's real people on your platform. It's like if you're going through something salacious like this, if you're going through something that is going to get the gossip mills going, once a couple people know, they're going to follow forward it to everybody because it's gossip. People want to see something like this. It's like if we wake up tomorrow and we hear Beyonce's being cheated on by Jay-Z. Everybody wants to know that. And it's even more of something to talk about if you're a person who has sort of a very cookie cutter clean image like I have. So they very much want to know. People want to know dirt about me, my personal business. People want to know that more because, see, I'm very good at socializing. I can be very social without having people in my personal business. So a lot of people are used to knowing of me, but not knowing me personally. So as soon as I started talking about this stuff, people were terrified. People were like, what the hell? And even a year and a half, almost 2 years later of this occurring, people still believe me when I talk, and they know that. And that's why they have to try to suppress my networks because, you know, in my personal situation, they got so many people involved. They had to tell so many people. There was so much gossip and slander about me that didn't make sense that now it finally makes sense. Like, they're like, this person's very kind. What do you mean this person's not nice? What do you mean? We've known this girl for 10 plus years. I've been in the public eye for 10 plus years. And a lot of my clients have followed me from business to business, from profession to profession. I've helped a lot of people. People's families know me. I've been a part of people's lives in a lot of ways. So I know that it just didn't make sense to a lot of people and people didn't understand what was going on. That's why I encourage people who are being gang stalked to not withdraw from society. Well, you know, to be honest, you need to isolate for a bit, but now I'm coming back out. I'll put it that way. I'm coming back out. There is a period of time you need to isolate because there's a period of time you can't trust anyone. No matter who they are, they're being bribed. It's not the right time. And you're going to know when it's not the right time. In your system, you're going to know when it's not the right time. When you've broken out and you've escaped enough and you're ready to speak up and tell your story and you've learned enough and you have enough of people's names, enough witnesses, enough of all of that, then you can come out. But you got to take your time with that. It's important for them to block connections and block sources of help. So in my personal situation, I was being slandered and all of this was happening because they wanted me to be a drug mule, because they wanted me to have no other options but to be a drug mule. And because they wanted to do this, they wanted to take away all the social help that I would get. So they had to destabilize my social networks first, or while they were doing what they were doing. And then they would come back where it's like, no one's going to help you. No one's going to believe you. You're going to be on your knees. And then you're going to come back and have no choice but to get help from us. So in my situation, they wanted me financially dependent on them. And I've seen them do that in another situation where, or other situations where they destabilize a person's personal networks. And then it's like, but that person has just made deals with them. So it's like the gang stalking people, let's say. Somebody makes a deal to be a part of this network. Well, all of a sudden now you've lost your husband, you've lost your spouse. Whoever was in your life before they came that they couldn't control, they get rid of that person. They break up the relationships, they break up the friendships. And now you're only going to have friends with people they say you're going to have friends with or friendships with. You're going to only be eligible to have relationships with people they want you to have relationships with. People that they already have surrounded that they can control. Because when outside people come around, like when I came into my ex's life as an outside person, and my ex is telling me about the stories going on in his life, I'm like, whoa, wait a minute. Do you actually have friends? Do you actually have people that care about you? Because these people something's wrong with everything that you're telling me. And this is why they wanted to get me out of his life. And this is why they wanted to gang stalk me, because I was really opening his eyes to what was going on around him. So really take that into consideration. The next thing that they want to destabilize you is mentally. So the ways in which they want to mentally destabilize you are, they want to create illusions that challenge your trust in your own personal judgment. They want to make you think you're crazy. They want to create hurdles that no one else can see. You can see the gang stalking. You can see that people are what they call street theater. So they're creating situations in public. You can see that people are harassing you, but they don't want anyone else to see it. And then that's where the gang stalking comes in. The physical act of following you everywhere, badgering you, and gang stalking you. That's where it comes in. That is the purpose of the gang stalking, is to put you in a situation of anxiety and fear, constant anxiety and fear. They create illusions around you so that you get to gang stalk yourself. So today, for example, Instagram goes down. And I'm thinking to myself, oh boy, here we go again. We have to, go on and we have to post and we have to all this stuff. And now the Instagram's down. What's going on? But I also am vigilant with myself, and I have to go through filtering everything bad that happens in my life to ask myself, could this just be a general issue, or could this be gang stalking? And you must do that. You must not give people credit for everything that goes wrong in your life. They want you to do that because things go wrong in your life naturally. You can't give them credit for everything, because that's when you start doing their job for them. Instagram's just down for everyone. So I had to go online and go like Google and check like, oh, Instagram's down for everybody. People have been Googling this for the last 40 minutes. Great, fine. But they put you in a situation where you question your mental health. Every one of us has questioned, like, wait, especially in the beginning, you're like, wait, am I losing my mind, or is everything around me going crazy all of a sudden? You have to really think about, okay, wait, how comes, and I saw this with somebody else where they're like, wait, I'm on the street and everything is red. Red car, somebody in a red shirt, somebody this, somebody that. Now, for situations like things like that, I tell people you can't control it. And you also need to be in a frame of mind that when you make reports and when you tell people what's going on, you aren't telling them things like everything on the street is red. Of course you notice it. But if you go about telling people these things, it makes you sound crazy. And they want to put you in a situation where not only do you feel like you're going crazy, but people start questioning your sanity. People start saying, something is not right with you. Something's not right about what you're talking about. Especially because you start having these experiences, these supernatural experiences, or what we always talk about, where it's like you're feeling energetically that things are not right. So once you're feeling that things are not right at this point, now you're thinking to yourself, there's something else going on. And when you're trying to explain that to people, no one wants to believe you, because people don't have to believe in supernatural things when their life is so-called normal, but you're thinking it and you're believing it and you know better. The hurdles that they create. So very early on, I noticed if I was with people, they wouldn't gang stalk me as hard. They wouldn't come around taking the pictures. They would only do that stuff when I was alone, because they didn't want other people to believe what I was saying. They always wanted to keep things normal when people were around. They don't want other people to see what you're saying. So in the beginning, or even most times, you're almost safer when you're with people, but they try to get you to the point where you don't trust people. And you know what? They work a lot. They really work a lot to put you in a situation where you're constantly feeling or thinking about what people are saying, and like almost like looking too deeply in what people are saying. It's almost like repeating the same things over and over to make you feel like, a lot of what people are saying are not good. So you have to, or targeting you in some way. So you really have to like stay focused on the things that you're working on, stay focused on being calm, stay focused on strengthening your spirituality, because you're going to need God through this journey. You have to stay focused in a lot of ways and just allow things to flow through and allow yourself to be walked through this situation, because you're going through the situation. It's not a destination. You just really have to get through it for long enough that the people who are paying for it realize that it's not working. That is really what you're working on. The third one, financial destabilization. This is a huge one. Before I go into this, there is a huge correlation between how you're perceived when you appear as someone who has good financial means versus being homeless. If you look at the two extremes, when a rich person walks into anywhere, they're greeted with respect. They're treated automatically like they're gonna be honest. They're treated automatically like they're upstanding. When you're homeless, you're almost invisible. No one pays attention to you. No one wants to listen to you. No one takes you seriously. You seem like a beggar. You seem like things are not serious in your life. This is the extreme that they want you on. They want you on that homeless spectrum. Okay. So in the beginning, there was this huge thing where they didn't want me to look like I had money. I remember one time I had a diamond ring on and it got stolen from my house. And these are the kind of things that people do to make you seem like you're kooky. Even me wearing this jewelry and these crystals right now, like I'm just wearing it right now like this because I'm just waiting to really put it together properly. But these kind of things, this kind of wear makes you look like you're some like voodoo witch doctor or whatever. They're gonna twist these things around. So you have to be aware of how you're presenting yourself, because presentation means a lot. So if you're going somewhere for the first time and you're presenting this way, somebody almost has already gone before you and say like, she's kind of weird, she dresses kind of weird, she's da 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 da. They put those things out there to cast doubts in you before you even show up. So you have to be aware of your presentation. Financial destabilization. These people want you to have a loss of a shelter, loss of vehicle, loss of income, loss of business partnerships. Two very big things for them was, I used to have a Mercedes E450 convertible, white one. It was brand new. It had all the features. It was beautiful. This car used to put envy in the hearts of grown men. I used to look at people roll their eyes when we put the roof down. It was a huge thing for them. I was at Mercedes one time and this guy came and said, I want to buy your car specifically. And I said, no. He's like, I want to buy yours specifically. And I was like, no. And the tech working on my car was like, we're working on it. I had to stop going to Mercedes. I eventually had to sell the car. I eventually had to get rid of the car. My home, massive 4-bedroom house, it was an issue for them because all of these things were giving me too much social credibility. Having multiple properties, having a beautiful business, having a beautiful multiple vehicles, etc. It was making me be taken too seriously in their eyes. So these were things that they wanted to knock out of my hands. On top of that, they wanted me to have no vehicle. Now, thank God, you know, I'm not in a situation where I have no vehicle. I'm not in a situation where that's likely to happen. They also want you to have, imagine having to take the bus everywhere. Imagine being stranded. Imagine being an adult with no vehicle, not even an old vehicle, and having no means to buy a new one. It's a loss to your self-esteem, a blow to your self-esteem. That's what they want to put in your path, blows to your self-esteem. Loss of shelter. They're not done with you when you're in a shelter. They want to get you kicked out of the shelter so you're homeless. They want to give you a reputation that you get kicked out of shelters. They want to abuse you in the shelter so that you're to a point where people are, it's like when they speak to the other shelters, they're like, she was very abrasive, she was very abusive. So that you are going from shelter to shelter and facing the same thing. This is what they want to do because they want to render you homeless. And they've done this time and time again. This is nothing new for them. They're not done with you until you get to the point where on your Uber app, you can't order Ubers because you have a bad reputation on Uber. You have 0 stars. You have this, you have that. These are the kind of things that they're trying to do to dismantle you. They're not just following you around for no reason. They're not just in your personal business stalking you, hacking you for no reason. They want information on what to destroy. They want to take everything away from you. Loss of business partnerships puts you in a situation where you cannot do business. You cannot take care of yourself. You cannot start new avenues of income and rebuild the lines of income that they've broken. So you got to be very careful in everything that you do. You got to be very careful. You got to be vigilant. You got to watch yourself. Watch where things are changing around you. Watch hacked accounts. Watch information. You know, be careful about sharing your information. Like, one thing for me is I will never give anybody on YouTube. I know I'm a target because the information I'm giving is very organized. The information I'm not giving is not random rambling. And I very much have broken out, and people like me are going to be a much bigger target because we're making their job harder. We're breaking multiple people away at a time. They attack the tarot readers a lot because the tarot readers are doing the same thing. They're breaking people away, multiple people away at a time. This is their worst nightmare, when everybody starts waking up and everybody starts being able to walk away. When you start losing they attack your income. They attack you at your work. Attacking you on your job is one of the easiest and most effective things to do. When you start going from job to job, where it starts being hard to hire you, when it starts being abusive to be at work to the point you don't want to go there, you want to quit. Once they start attacking your income, they can attack everything else. They are notorious. If you own your own property, all you got to do is talk to the bank. The bank only cares about you paying your bills. Bank could care less what you do. You want to not take care of the property, whatever, your business. But once you have a landlord, the landlord is going to start being problematic. That's why I always tell people there's no hope lost because you have a landlord. Landlord and tenant boards favor tenants. Report those people. Report those people. Report those people. Make sure you hold your landlord to task. They start doing things, report them, take them to court. Do whatever you got to do to make sure that you are not illegally evicted. They try to get you out of your business space. Make sure you're in a situation with your business space that you're not being illegally kicked out. Manage your resources. Don't go to a lawyer or look to sue people and waste money. I had somebody advise me on Instagram, oh, you should just sue this guy at this point. Sue him for what? Take my money and pay a lawyer and sue him? He should take his money and pay a lawyer and sue me. I'm not going to pay for that. That's a frivolous case. And what logical lawyer is going to take that case unless it's a lawyer that they've bribed? So I'm telling you, they want to put you in situation to knock money out of your hands. You got to be very careful. One of the things that I'm going to be talking about is how to put an action plan together, and the kind of things that you're going to be looking at to put an action plan together for things you want to start doing to breaking yourself out. But before you can put an action plan together, you must understand what you're in. And this is what I'm doing. Hi, Lisa. It's so nice to see that I know people, or I'm getting people. I don't know people, but I'm getting people from different parts of the world. Everything that I'm putting out, guys, just take it into consideration and apply it to your region and what's going on with you. One of the things that I forgot to mention with the social destabilization is they want to put you in a situation where even the police won't help because they want the authorities to think you're crazy. They want people to think that you're not logical. They want people to think that what you're saying shouldn't be taken seriously. So you really have to think about the way you're presenting. Of course, there's a spiritual component to everything going on, but you must be logical. We're in the logical world. And people cannot police the spiritual aspect of what's going on. They can only police what is illegal. So you got to be careful of that. The final point that and before I wrap up the financial destabilization, people want to financially destabilize you so that they can get you to the point where, listen, being homeless, especially going from having a beautiful home or always having nice things and having money, it really takes a toll on your mental health. And that's where they want to get you. Abundance, being able to make money, being a provider if you're a man or even a mother. It is something that puts pride in you. It's part of your identity, always being the one that can pay. And then getting to the point where you're owing people, you're in debt, you can't pay for things, and you're losing things, and you're losing your social status. This is where they want to get you, where people don't respect you, but you've taken such a fall. When you've taken that fall, it affects your mental health. It makes it hard to rebuild, especially when every time you hold on to something, they smack it out of your hands. This is what they want to do to you. Lisa, it is totally fine to be homeless. It's an experience that's going to build your character. You have nothing to lose and there's no bottom. And all you have right now is the ability to build. All you have to build is yourself mentally, and you're out of there. All you have to build is your hope and your faith, and you're out of there. All you have to do is build better, and you're out of there. And let me tell you, it's not just normal people that find themselves exiled, that find themselves isolated, that find themselves homeless. There are kingdoms that another kingdom comes in, overthrows, I'm talking about history, comes in, overthrows, and a king, royalty, they find themselves homeless. They find themselves on the streets. They find themselves somewhere else, exiled, begging, no respect, doing things that they've never done before. So everybody is different. There is no shame in it. It is what it is. You build yourself and you get back to where you're going. You build back better. You build back with God, and you build back on the knowledge of everything that you've lost, because you know damn sure the next time gang stalking, or if it ever does come around, it cannot affect you. You know now, if I'm purchasing a vehicle, I'm not purchasing a vehicle where the payments are so high. If I'm purchasing a home, I'm going to do things this way. I'm going to have this set up. I'm going to have this in place so that people can't knock things out of my hands the second time I'm going to go around doing this. That's all it is. You have a whole life ahead of you. And I always say that. Hope is what they're really trying to take away from you. It's your hope. It's not necessarily the things. You can get the things back. You can get a home back. It's the hope that they want to take away from you. So take your time. And the last thing that I've identified is your spiritual beliefs and your hope. On my list, on my chart, I put it as number 1 because that's what makes you who you are. So the 4 points, or the 5 points, or four or 5 points that I put are, they want to destroy your ability to hope for an end to your suffering. They want to destroy your faith in God. They want to destroy your faith in humanity, and they want to stop you from seeing that you are not alone. So let me expand on that. So your ability to hope for an end to your suffering. A lot of gang stalking victims think that this is going to happen for forever. I am forever going to be gang stalked. It's never going to stop. These people are always going to bother me. Excuse me, I come online and everybody else has been gang stalked for 5 years, for 10 years, for whatever. It stops when you determine that you are done, you're sick, you're tired. I'm done feeling hopeless. I'm done feeling like people are against me. I'm done being stuck, scared of going outside. I'm done being scared whenever I go somewhere. I'm done with all of it. I'm done. I'm tired. I'm going to go into the world boldly. This is my life. That is the first step to ending gang stalking. The second step is practicing it, because they're going to notice you're more confident, you're more calm, you're more bold. You're not scared anymore. You're not hiding. You're dressing better. You're behaving more confidently. Now it's a problem because you're recovering and you're healing. This is where you want to be. You're going to always have hope. You need to cling on to your hope, and you're going to have your hope. They want to destroy your faith in God because prayer makes you unrealistic. I'm not a realistic person. I never have been. Prayer gives you the faith that despite 3,000 people stalking you over the course of a year, despite losing all your significant relationships, despite losing things in your life, that you can rebuild better, that you can get more money, that you can still be your best self, that, you know, whatever happens to you, you can feel good about yourself. You can have happiness. Prayer gives you that. God gives you the faith to know that you're going to survive despite all odds. Despite all odds. They want to take that away from you. They want to take away from you the fact that God is actually protecting you. Because all you're looking at is the losses, but you're not looking at the fact that you're not in a bad accident. You're not looking at the fact that I'm not completely homeless, that yeah, I might have gotten one pimple, but they wanted my whole face covered. You're not looking at that, at all the ways God is shielding you, but God is there. God hears every thought. God hears every prayer. And it's because of God you're still standing. You're being tested. You're learning lessons. You're being built into a better version of yourself, the best version of yourself that you've ever seen. And this is why you must maintain your hope. What is more important than the money? The lessons and the character that are inside of the person who makes the money. You're more important than the money. You're the hen that's laying the golden eggs. You are more important than the business. You made the business. If they took off one business from you, you know how faster you can make another business? Me right now, if they started gang stalking me before, a second time, how long is that gonna last? I know why you're coming. I know what you're looking to do. And I know damn sure what I gotta do to make this end quickly. People don't want to approach me. Everybody that approaches me is gonna be in a problem. It's gonna be in a problem because I know how to document. I know how to look. I know what to look for. And I know who and what to report. I can't report everything, but I can report some things. I can make an issue. So think about that. They will try to make you homeless. Trust me, they want to destabilize you completely. And I've seen it. They try to do that to me multiple times. They want you to lose your faith in humanity. When you're being gang stalked, you think, wow, I cannot believe that human beings are so evil. I cannot believe that everybody is this evil. I cannot believe that every police officer is crooked. That's what they want you to believe, to lose your faith in humanity, but that is not true. Everybody's not against you. There are good people out there. And it takes a while for you to see that, but they want to surround you so tightly and build such a close wall around you that all you see is evil. But it's not true. A person who loses their faith in humanity is a person who's easier or closer to suicide. What is the point of living? How am I going to ever have a relationship or a marriage? They're getting to everybody that I'm close to. They're coming here, and it's like anytime I make a relationship with somebody, I have to let go of it because that person starts behaving oddly towards me. That's what they want. They want you to lose your hope and your faith in humanity. And they want you to stop seeing that you're not alone. So now you start isolating yourself from everything, good opportunities and bad. Everybody has to go. You start being cold-hearted to other people. And part of it is because you know that even though this person originally came with warm intentions, they'll eventually turn that person against you. And one way that I realized that is with my ex. My ex knew my heart. My ex knew my soul. And they still found a way to make that man distrust me. And they still found a way to make that man question my character. That's how much they worked on destroying that relationship. They tell rumors and then they wait and they work very hard to make the rumors seem true. They say things about, that's why they come in and they need to get to know you. Oh, you have these spiritual beliefs, you're a devil worshiper. Because you're not Christian, then whatever you're believing in is wrong. It took my ex also being gang stalked himself for coming back to using his intuition and questioning, like, this doesn't make sense. All the abuse that started happening to him It took all of that for him to finally see that I was right. But he started calling me a psychopath, and that's what they called me. All of the words that they used to describe me was the words that he started using, and I knew that they were telling him these things. He said, I didn't know you're a psychopath. Oh, you got to stop your BS. I don't have time for this. Nobody's following you. And now the exact same things are happening to him. So these are the things, these are the 4 points. These are the 4 major places that they're trying to attack you. They're trying to totally destabilize you. That's why they're trying to follow you around everywhere. That's why they're trying to stop you in your path with everything that not only you currently have, but that you're building. And you have to find a way to rebuild while blocking the avenues where people can access you. That is what you're truly looking for. So I've given out these points and this information. I'm going to make all of this available in the community section on my channel, so you can go and find the chart. I made a really nice chart that people can look at. You can screenshot them, of course, share them, of course, let people know. I'm gonna make a lot of content that's gonna be easily digestible. Obviously, the videos are better because there's an explanation of everything, but I'm gonna make it readily available. And I'm gonna, try my best to do a lot of frequent content. And I'm gonna really help you guys build an action plan of rebuilding your life, and also for people who are in it, who are stuck, and also of managing the stress and the strain. There's a lot of healing that needs to take place, but we really need to put the information in a concise way where people can manage the information, not fear mongering all the time, not always talking about like, it's happening, we know it's happening. What can we do about it? How can we get out of it? So I want to thank you guys for logging into my channel. Any questions, please put in the comment section of the video. I look at my comments all the time on my videos and I check back. Of course, you're going to have BS like comments being deleted and stuff like that. If you see your comment deleted, just come back and comment again, and I'm going to get it. Comment in the community section. Keep putting your comments up because you know what we're dealing with. And we don't even know if it's coming from deleted on my side or even deleted on your side, because these people do not want you to have help and hope. And you know that. And then there's people who, it's so sad. I can see what they're going through, and they're watching my videos and they start building up hope, and they start building up confidence, and then I can't find their account anymore. Their account gets deleted. And I'm thinking, and then they make a new account, everything's deleted off of their old account, all their videos, and then they delete it again. They don't want people to heal. They don't want people to get hope. They don't want people to break out. They want to keep you in a cycle of suffering. So they break your confidence, they break your hope in life. So I hope I helped everyone. Thank you guys for being in my channel, logging in. Thank you guys for consuming the information. Please share with other people, or at least share on your channel that somebody else can see it as well. And that's how we continue putting more and more reach out there. And like I said, any other comments that you guys have or questions, just go ahead and let me know. Oh, and before I go, because I keep forgetting to do that, everybody that's doing this gang stalking, I mean, I can't say everyone, there's a lot of people obviously profiting off of this, so that's the reason that they're doing it. But it is what it is. I've just learned to not really worry about what gang stalkers are going through, because gang stalkers are not even in control of their own reality. They're being paid by someone, which means that their own financial stability, they're at the mercy of other people as well. So we got to focus on ourselves as much as possible. Focus on what we got going on and take care of ourselves. I'm going to do my spirit cards because I always do these cards. See what messages Spirit has for us today. This one says, self-awareness is key. Take time today to go within and spend time with your soul. Go for a walk in nature and ground yourself. Meditate. Listen to your favorite music. Whatever you enjoy most, do that today. It's so important because you get to forgetting. You forget that you have a life to live. Listen, one thing I did very well when I was actively gang stalking is I didn't forget my life. When I realized exactly what was going on here, I said, oh, hell no. I was chunky as hell, overweight. I started going to the gym. I got a good membership to a good gym. I started going to the gym. I started losing weight. I started taking care of myself. I'd get my hair done every once in a while. I would get my feet done. I'd have a relaxation day. I started making sure I'd take a day off. I was relaxing. I was out on my patio. I was barbecuing, and I'm still going to do it now. You take little liberties to enjoy yourself. Don't sit here if you're going to be gang stalked for 3 years and say to yourself, I can't wait for the biggest mistake is saying, I can't wait for the day that it's over. And then the day that it's over, it's the day I enjoy myself. No, enjoy your life now. There are things that you can enjoy for yourself right now. You don't need to wait for things to be over. So that's a big thing. I also usually pull a crystal and I find what crystal comes out. Sometimes I pull the crystal for my lives or for my, my videos. And then it's like, I want the crystal. And some of the crystals fit what gang stalking does to you so well. It's crazy. But I'm a crystal fanatic, and crystals are fairly cheap to buy. It's not a huge financial commitment. I use AliExpress, Alibaba, any of these kind of websites where it's like relatively cheap. You're gonna get a crystal bracelet for like $1, $2. It's like not crazy. I try not to buy a lot of my stuff locally because it's like they overcharge. They buy them for like, I'm seeing them online for $2, $1.50, and then they're selling it for like 25 bucks in the malls. But there are a couple of crystals that I'm into, so let's see what comes out, if anything comes out today. And if nothing does come out, I'll just read one of the crystals that I want to read. Okay, you know what? I'm going to read this one because this is a really important crystal to have. And I coincidentally have one right now. This is selenite. As far as crystals go, this is a selenite tower. As far as crystals go, this is a core crystal to have in your arsenal. Crystals are not just pretty rocks that we collect. They are for many, many purposes. The most significant is healing. They're natural elements from the earth. Okay? Selenite is the crystal for connecting to the higher realms. And I'll tell you all the things I use selenite for. It's crystallized divine light. The vibration is extremely fine. Selenite anchors the light body into the earth vibration and downloads divine light into the physical body. It creates a safe, peaceful space that does not allow outside influences to penetrate, because you are going to have a lot of energy manipulation around you. This guards your aura. This allows divine light or divine energy to be in you to protect you, grounds it in your body. This stone detaches entities from the aura and prevents anything external from influencing the mind. That's what they're really attacking with gang stalking, is the mind. On these 4 points of all the 4 things they want to take from you or attack or destabilize, it all boils down to your mind. That's what they're looking for. It reaches into other lives or the future and checks progress made with the current life plan, pinpointing lessons and issues being worked on. While being gang stalked, you are learning. It's a boot camp. It's a fast track. You're learning all kinds of things. How do I avoid distraction? How do I avoid scarcity tactics? How do I get over scarcity tactics? Is the impression that you don't have money, or you can't make money, or money's dwindling, or money's a resource that is not easily accessed or accessible. How do I get over fear tactics? Having people create illusions around me. You are learning how to get over all of this, and you must get over all of these lessons in order to break yourself out. You got to be able to walk outside with the flying monkeys doing jumping jacks in front of you. Hey, 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 look over here. Hey, I'm gonna jump in your way. Hey, I'm gonna stand there and just obsessively stare at you. You gotta walk on the street looking at all of that, or just not seeing it, letting it fade into the background, and walk on the street and doing what you do. Pushing your cart in the store and having all these weird people follow you, taking a phone, taking pictures of you, doing all of this stuff, and it doesn't affect you. You gotta look at the person gang stalking you and say, hi, good morning, how are you? They're gonna be like, good morning. And you're like, have a good day, and continue on your day. If there's a car that constantly sits outside of your house, you walk by, you're not gonna show fear to this random person. You're gonna knock on their window and say, hey, how are you? You good? Perfect. I see you here every morning. Is everything okay? How's your day going? Awesome. All right, I'll catch you tomorrow morning. You gotta take away everything from them. They're gonna start getting pissed. What do they have to do? Stab you in an alley? They don't know what to do now. Yes, I greet gang stalkers. Yes, I walk by and I smile at people. Yes, I talk to people. Yes, I stop and I stand right next to, close enough to being in earshot to the people that are slandering me or trying to talk about me or trying to build relationships with with significant people in my life. For me, it wasn't, they were cartel, so a lot of them were Hispanic. When I see my place of business or places I go to frequently start getting flooded with Hispanic people, now they're talking to the cashiers or my favorite people, I stand really close and I listen. I hop in the conversation. I make them uncomfortable. I wait until they're done. Oh, you can go first. No, you go first. No, you go first. You go first. You finish your conversation. Because when you're done, my turn. Hey, wasn't that guy weird? I know. What was he talking about? He just told me to lock the door when you leave. Really? That sounds weird. He's cartel. Did you know that? Yeah, he's cartel. Y'all better watch out for him. My turn. Because I healed. Because I grew. Because I know the tactics. Now you try gang stalking me. That is the point you want to get to. Nobody's going to run you out of your town, out of your situation, out of your house. This is yours. You paid for it. You built it. So you need to heal. Learn your lessons and heal. Take wise advice, even though it sounds kooky. You don't believe in crystals. You don't believe in God. You don't believe in all of this stuff. But somebody who broke out does. So you might want to listen to it. Because when I started, I didn't believe in tarot. I never heard of tarot before. You know what got me out of this? Tarot. Now imagine if I was judgmental to tarot, I would have never known half of the things that I know. You're not watching these videos for no reason. So when they talk about future, when they talk about things like it checks progress made with your, let me read that again from what you know about learning lessons and being able to learn the lessons to move forward. Because if you don't know how to avoid distraction, you can't get the blessing waiting for you on the other side, because you're going to get distracted. They're going to smack it out of your hand. You got to learn your lessons. Right now, as I build my new life, distractions galore. They don't touch me. I see a number on my phone that I don't know when I'm doing work. We don't even pick that up. We don't have no time for that. We'll return the call when we're done our work for the day. No distractions, no shaking of my mood, no putting me in a bad mood. When I'm working, I'm working. Whatever I'm doing, it's a one-track mind. It's focused. I learned that lesson, which is why I was granted safe passage to the next journey, the next part of my life, which is going to be built solid as a rock. I'm not doing this playing games things with anybody ever again, because I know now what people are capable of doing. So let me read this again. This stone detaches entities from the aura. When they send garbage towards you, when they send this sexual lust demons, these energies, this fear, this anxiety, these spirits of paranoia towards you, it detaches that. And prevents anything external from influencing your mind. It reaches into your other lives or your future and checks the progress made with your current life plan. Hey, she needs to learn how to detach easily from people who are showing her they don't mean her any good, even though it is her best friend, her mother, her sister. Is she doing that? No, she's not. Bring another lesson. Bring another betrayal. Bring somebody else to hurt her and break her heart. She needs to learn how to heal. So these lessons are not meant to break you down. These lessons are meant to teach you how to jump over the hurdle. Every problem is an opportunity to learn what it teaches you, so that when you get to this big blessing that is waiting for you, you're not sitting over there because your husband just betrayed you and wants to take half of the business. You're used to that. You eat betrayals for breakfast. So you sit there and you're like, oh, this is what we're doing now. Cool. Lawyer, check the documents. As a matter of fact, you build your life in such a way that you are already prepared for betrayals because you don't really trust people like that. You're protecting the blessing that's been given to you. So it checks with your future and checks progress made with your current life plan, pinpointing lessons and issues currently being worked upon. So this is what this stone helps with. Meditating with this crystal brings about a conscious understanding of what has been occurring at the subconscious level and shows how it can best be resolved. This stone will affect your spinal column on your body, on your physical body. It affects your spinal column, joints, breasts, nervous system. Your nervous system takes the biggest blow when you get the anxiety, when you get the shakes, when you get the paranoia, your heart's racing, you're in a constant state of fear. It affects your nervous system, puberty, and menopause. For your mind, it brings clarity, it clears confusion, it facilitates seeing the bigger picture, not worrying about the small issue that has happened that you're hyper focusing on and you're making into something huge, but stopping and looking at the bigger picture like, okay, this got knocked out of my hands, but to be honest, it was too expensive anyway. You know, maybe I want to do this and this is kind of impeding it anyway. You know, for me, I had to look at it. My mall locations are a breeding ground for random people to just come in and out. It became more obvious what was going on where when I was in that location was not smaller, it was much bigger, but it was more an isolated location. I could create my own hours. I didn't have to adhere to the 12 hours a day that the mall forces me to be there. So you have to look at the bigger picture and you have to get some clarity and you have to clear your mind and calm yourself down and remove the fog that gets created from constantly being bombarded in this situation. So this is a stone that I have. This is a heavily salt-based stone. And so this stone does not need recharging. It doesn't need cleaning. In fact, you cannot put it in water. What happens with your stones is they need to be cleaned, and they can be cleaned in multiple ways. You can charge them in the moonlight. You can charge them in salt. Salt is a purification, a tool for purification. So anything that can handle salt, you put in salt. You can put it in salt water. If your stone's been taking a lot of abuse, like my stones take a lot of abuse, I have to clean them for a long time. In another video, I showed that I had a huge obsidian tower because an obsidian bracelet like this will break very quickly. Your bracelets break once they've done their job. Once they've absorbed enough negativity, they pop. I'm not saying they got caught on something and they pop. I mean, I'll be like this and it'll just pop right off my hand with absolutely no tension. It's done its job. I started really believing in crystals. At first I was buying into it because I worked at the mall, so I knew a crystal shop. I liked the lady, we would talk. And then I really started believing in it when it was just pop. And I knew I needed it, and I would just know in my heart what I needed a crystal for, and I wouldn't know why. I would say, I need something for love. I need something for protection. I need something for this, and she would recommend something for me. Some of those crystal bracelets were 65 bucks. They're $5 online. I'm so annoyed at myself. But anyway, and then I didn't want to be without the crystals because crystals would just pop. I'd be laying in bed and I'd wake up to my crystals popping. And then I had to start putting crystals on my kids. And my kids would be like, Mom, my crystals broke. And based on the crystal that was breaking, I knew what chakra they were trying to attack. I knew what they were trying to attack on my child and on myself. So crystals really help you to heal your chakras. And I'm gonna go into chakra healing. I'm gonna go into all of these things over time. Just because you're done being gang stalked does not mean that you don't have a ton of healing to do, and you have more healing than normal to do. You need to rebalance your chakras. You need to get, they don't like that I'm saying this right now. You need to rebalance your chakras. You need to get yourself, that is what helps you get back to a normal frame of mind. That's what helps you get back your peace. That's what gives you the hope to rebuild your life. Chakra healing. Chakra healing is essential. So different crystals will call to you themselves. You don't even need to know everything about crystals. You don't need to know all the crystals. Once you get into crystals, the crystals start healing you. You start with your master crystals. This one will start making you call to what needs to be called to. When I was getting my huge obsidian crystal, I didn't buy it because it was the most expensive crystal that I ever had. It's like almost bigger than this one. But I needed it. It's a huge shield to your body. When I start feeling the work, when I start feeling the pain on my body, I put that on my body. It's gone almost immediately. It shields me. When things start coming through, sometimes I sleep in bed with both of these crystals. There are things that people, these gang stalkers, want to know what I'm doing so they can counteract it. You can't do nothing about no crystal. You can't do anything about a crystal. There's nothing, there's no workaround to crystal. There's no workaround to salt. Nature has created these for a reason. Let me tell you how powerful. This crystal, it did not start off like this. You'll notice here, there's parts of this crystal that have broken down over time because the crystal's doing its work. It's absorbing into your body. It's disintegrating. The crystal's breaking down as the salt component of the crystal breaks into your body. And it's the same as why I tell people take these salt baths and immerse yourself in salt. Immerse your body in salt. Give your body opportunity to heal. Salt and water, the elements are your friend. God put everything that you need. You don't need pharmaceuticals. You don't need medication. You don't need mental health. You can heal yourself. You can. You can heal yourself. You can walk yourself back. But what was I saying? So I didn't want to buy the obsidian. I just thought this is way too expensive. There's no way I'm buying a crystal this expensive. And when I got into crystals, I told myself, I warned myself, I'm like, you do not want to be the crystal lady because there are people whose whole house is full of crystals. It's expensive. Take your time with it. Start with beads and then get bigger stones throughout for meditation and for different things like that. I went and I saw it and it was actually a good price. And I didn't want to buy it. And then I found myself again at the same damn store with the same damn crystal, and I had to buy it. And they said it to me. My kids said it, and the people at the store, they said it to me. They're like, maybe the reason that you're here is because it's meant to be. You're meant to have this crystal. And I said, you know what? You're right. That crystal has saved my life. That crystal has saved me from abuse. And the other thing is, the bigger the crystal, the more abuse it can absorb. So I sleep with my crystals. I stay with my crystals. I was going through a lot of psychic attacks at one of my locations. People were coming in just dropping negative energy. When I created borders of protection around my space, I had to create more and more and more borders of protection. So the more that this happened, I realized that, you know what? I need to just get crystals. And my selenite was too much, too big to keep on me like this. And I also have a selenite it's a polished version right here for healing. So it's constantly healing. But to be honest with you, you really want the raw salt one. The more raw your crystals, in my opinion, the better. So I used to do, if you don't have selenite right now, you can go ahead and get yourself raw salt, like the rock salt. You can get it at any store for like $1 for like a bag. And I used to go to the dollar store and get one of these breathable bags. It's like one of those bags you'll put herbs in, tie it up and put it in your soup so that it can actually leach it can actually leach into the soup. It's a bag because it needs to touch your skin. It needs to absorb into your skin. Having it over top of clothes doesn't help you. It needs to be on your physical skin. And I used to take it as a woman and just put it in my bra. The raw salt, put it in my bra. put it on parts of me, under my belt buckle, on certain parts of my body, so that it could work to counteract the work that was being done on me while I was out in public. Enough work is done on you. You got to come home and you got to take a salt bath. You got to take care of yourself. Constantly, the healing must occur while the problem is occurring. You cannot wait till one day for the healing to stop. Sorry, my thing keeps falling. You can't wait for the attacks to stop. They don't stop like that. These people will never voluntarily stop bothering you. You must prove that you will never get sick by never getting sick. And how do you not get sick? You work on yourself. Diet, exercise, crystal healing, protecting your space. And I'm going to go through at one point the different points that they attack you and how you can counteract every single one of them. I'm going to give you guys, I think, what you guys can handle at maybe the level of belief that you're at. The healing journey is a bottomless pit. There's constant healing. There's constant things you can do, but it's just basic things that people who are not spiritual at all wouldn't mind doing. And it wouldn't be a huge pull from where you are right now. The crystal, the last one before I go, that is always comes up is tiger's eye. Every day tiger's eye comes up. So just get you a tiger's eye. It's important. I used a lot of tiger's eye when I was initially going through everything that I was going through. So there's your gentle reminder. Get you a tiger's eye crystal. That is all for today. Make sure you guys say a prayer, take a spiritual bath if you can afford to. Well, everybody can afford to if you have a bathtub. Sit in salt. Cleanse your body. Just get a whole little $1 bag of salt from Walmart. Get 2 if it's your first bath. You sit in it for an hour, drain all the water because it's going to be cleaning a lot of crap off of you. Drain all of the water and put another bag of salt in and sit in again until the water is clear the second time that you're in it. And do that 3 times, 3 days in a row for the first time that you're doing it. Cleanse your body and your energy. You will feel fresh as heck. It's like going to the beach, okay? You'll feel amazing. Get you some sun, walk out in nature, feel good about yourself, do your breath work, meditate. Meditation's not hard. Just breathe in slowly, calm yourself down, and do all of this and you'll be fine. And also make sure you burn some sage. You can find sage online anywhere. Burn you some sage, burn some smoke, clear out your space, especially before bed, and calm yourself down. You guys are very welcome. It is completely my pleasure to share all my information, and have yourself a lovely day. Bye-bye.